So Harry has been trying to tell us that it's so awful that the Associated Newspapers agreed after Diana passed away that they shouldn't report news about the royals in any kind of intrusive way. All right, Harry, not sure exactly what you're talking about, but sure, we'll listen. So in the lawsuit that Harry has filed, the A&L claims that Harry was well aware that some staff in the royal household had their phones tapped before 2011. And then Harry is trying to say that the information they got back then was actually not made public for years. So he decided not to bring a lawsuit forward until, of course, he ran out of money to keep Meghan happy. Oh wait, is that not what he said? I mean, seriously, how out of touch is Harry? How fried is his brain? This statement from him was read in court at the hacking inquiry. It was said, "No one would be so stupid as to hack my own phone given the security implications and consequences of my private information and whereabouts ending up in the wrong hands." So apparently, Harry only found out about this breach recently, and then he realized recently that the press was not honoring what they promised to do in the days after Diana passed away. Harry sure takes his time about filing lawsuits, doesn't he? So there's this bratty California ex-prince showing up in the UK without 30 days' notice, just to give his father a big fat middle finger. I mean, and that's why no one would even want to hack his phone. I mean, he couldn't even figure that out. Worse still, though, Harry put it in writing on a court document for the entire world to read. Harry really should have stayed with his family because then at least only the members and staff members would know what an idiot he really is. But now he has shown the whole world what an idiot he is. Good move, Harry. That was really smart. I do wonder how that's going to work out for Harry's dear drug-addled brain. And then we need to consider the case of this princess who had to deal with the media, with the paparazzi, and intrusion too. Which princess am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about Catherine, of course. She was harassed and verbally assaulted by the media for 5 long years. Her phone was hacked 159 times, more than any member of the royal family. Her mother's phone was even hacked, and her family was made fun of. Do you remember Doors to Manual? I wonder how stupid those aristocrats feel right now. Catherine has more class and decency in her little finger than Harry does in his entire body. I mean, maybe that penis cream didn't really help him out very much. But anyway, let's get serious. Catherine really had to handle a lot for a young woman. She was all on her own. She didn't have the protection of the palace, which is something that Harry just took for granted his entire life. Now, I understand that there's a lot Harry simply cannot understand because he's not very bright, so maybe I'm overestimating his ability to understand situations. It seems like Harry does not understand the fact that he doesn't need to attack the very newspapers that decided to cover up some of Harry's uglier behavior. Harry has been protected, he's been sheltered, and he has been coddled, but Catherine was forced to stand there all alone. And Harry just ends up looking like a complete brat, like somebody who doesn't have anything better to do with his time. Harry is a prince in name only, and he was raised for his entire life on how to be regal and princely, and he still does not know how to do it. And then we've got Catherine, who was not raised to be a princess. She just came from a normal family. But she's just naturally so regal, so classy. She just has such a presence about her. So maybe Harry just needs to remain in his fantasy world of drugs and strange ideas with his vicious little fake witch and also his fake kids. Harry can just stay behind the locked gates of Montecito and he can smoke and sniff and eat as much as he wants to. But please, Harry, don't ever come out again and impose this hypocritical farce on the rest of us. And what about Meghan? Well, she can sit on her window before she's going to be pushed out, and then I guess the dogs can get her. The truth is, Harry probably doesn't have much to do. I've heard that Meghan is still trying to spend time with this elderly man to pay her way because Harry can't anymore. And nobody really knows what happened to Archofficial and Invisibet if they were ever real. So I guess Harry has plenty of time to enjoy all the drugs he wants to. Maybe he just forgot how to act like a prince. I mean, maybe he forgot that he is a prince. Or maybe it's that Meghan Markle has finally brought Harry down to her level. Or maybe the truth is, Harry was never really a prince deep down inside. Catherine, the Princess of Wales, though, she has so much grace, and she can accurately understand a situation. And she does all of that with the dignity of a real royal. If Harry's face is the face of somebody living their best life free from the trappings of the institution, all right, Harry, fine. You can just stay there in Montecito. To me, his face looks like the face of a very disturbed person, very bitter, angry. And he looks sick, by all accounts, including his own, probably thanks to serious overindulgence when it comes to drinking and drugs. And there's also just so much that Harry and Meghan put out there. What can we believe? I've been following the royal family for quite a while now. It's more off and on, though. I don't consistently pay attention. And I do remember that Harry did some interesting things that were not appropriate for a royal, to say the least. But he also did some good things before Meghan Markle entered the picture. Some things are just not adding up with Harry. He has gone straight downhill since he met Meghan Markle and got married to her. And of course, I cannot say for sure, but it seems like maybe he is Meghan's puppet and he just doesn't understand that. I'm afraid it's going to take outsiders to understand what goes on between those two, but it's going to need to be friends of theirs who can get up close and personal. Not famous people either, but some real people, some down to earth people who are not scared to speak up. And also, even though I heard that they promised not to do it, Netflix did show the horrible death of Diana in The Crown. And not only that, but they recreated the scene pretty well. The pictures, the gruesome scenes. But what is with all this silence? There is nothing coming from Montecito, not a single word about the media being intrusive. But why not? I mean, Harry's always mentioning his late mother. Why can't he just leave her alone? And Netflix should too. We just want her to be able to rest in peace finally, so please allow her to do that. If she were still living, Harry, she would hate what you're doing to your brother and your family. She had so much respect for the royal family, and she loved you and your brother deeply. But of course, Harry and Meghan are not going to say anything bad about Netflix because Netflix is paying their way. So I guess when it comes to blackmailing and selling his own family for money, the media is Harry's friend. You know, I doubt this world privacy tour would have even started if somebody had put those millions in the claws of his wife years ago. I mean, the infamous Oprah interview could never existed in the first place. Just imagine such a thing. What if the media or the royal family paid them all the money they wanted? Every time I see the gruesome twosome, I just feel like somebody needs to take out some garbage, even if my bin is empty. They are worse than parasites. I mean, at least parasites can usually be treated. Harry is just so pathetic and so despicable. And he came to the UK because he was trying to throw his weight around, trying to make himself seem important. And he's trying to steal the thunder from his own father, who right now is abroad and he's doing so many good things for the UK. Harry, instead, though, is playing at being royal in the US. Well, that's never going to happen. He should really research American history. He claims he wants privacy, but then he and Meghan call the paparazzi themselves and tell them where they're going to be. What a joke. What a waste of space. Harry is such a disappointment.